Hi there, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining the live chat. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes, just two topics in tonight's live chat. Let me welcome the participants first. Bilaccio Macbebe is the first viewer who commented tonight, says, Hey Sajid, how are you? He says, You're 5 minutes late. Yeah, I am just 5 minutes late. I used to be late for half an hour, but tonight I try to make it on time. Sammy Pisse joined too. Bilacho says, I never missed your videos during the genocidal war on Tigray. Kidus Selassie joined too. Kidus is very quick to comment whenever I upload videos. Are you Kidus? Back foot here. Anonymous joined. Anonymous says, Shiva are not Amharas. Do a video on that group. Is it taboo to mention? Well, I don't get into such uh, discussions about who is what. People say Romos are not Ethiopian. Others say Tigrayans are not Ethiopians. Let's not get into this hair splitting now. Romos, Amharas, people of Shoa, RC, Valaga, all are part of Ethiopia. You cannot deny this reality. Let's stop living in the past. Ziudi Birhan says, proud of your integrity, maturity, and objective analysis. Thank you, Ziudi Birhane. Your appreciation matters a lot for me. You keep me going, viewers. Romticha joined to welcome Romticha. Jacob Jericho watching since Tigray war because his screen name is very unique. I remember him. We have T&O says, evening Sajid the Great. Thank you. I think you were a member, T&O. Am I right? But you're no more a member. What happened? Mr. G joined too. We have Tadale Nigusi says, hello, Sajid. How are you, Tadale? Amiha Kasai joined to welcome Amiha. Anonymous says, now in a country, so much food, people are dying, traveling to Yemen to work in Dubai. Backfoot made it first time to be in live chat. Muhammad Ali says, welcome, Mr. Sajid. Still, the fighting between Ethiopia and Eritrea is on the way. Let's hope it does not happen. Horner K is in Addis Ababa right now. Yaye Zakir joined to says, Hi Sajid, Ethiopia with 130 billion people is landlocked and Eritrea, less than 10 million people, controls 1,500 kilometers sea coast. Is it fair? Well, you cannot determine borders on the basis of population. That's not an argument that a bigger nation should have access to sea. I don't agree with this logic, by the way. Gospel channel joined to My Life says Getachew Reda warning Tadase is a mouse warning a cat. Abdullah Muhammad here. Gala joined to welcome Gala. I am Somali joined to welcome I'm Somali. Phoenix says, have you heard about the new inauguration of Skywin? Yeah, I'll speak about it, Phoenix. My Life said there are 40 landlocked countries, over 40 in the world, and yet none of them try to invade other one. Yeah, maybe they are surrounded by stronger countries. Stronger countries have been trying to engulf weaker countries. It has been happening for centuries, rather. Might has always been right. Aman Washe joined to welcome Aman. Aman is a member too. So, first member who joined today is Aman. Special welcome to you, Aman. If you want to be a member, click the link given in description section of the videos. Let's start with two topics in tonight's live chat. Firstly, Getachew Reda has written a letter addressed to Tadase Werede, showing another high in attention between military and Tigray military and Getachew, the government. Secondly, PM Abiy visited drone manufacturing facility today. I had a video on Ethiopia having bought new drones from the UAE. While Pimabi was there at the facility, some drones were shown. So which type of drones Ethiopia is not capable of building? Can it build very modern combat drones? I want to share my analysis with you. Mikhail joined to Gilu Dugsa here too. Gelu says, are we trying to send a message to enemies that he's about to master over the Horn region militarily? Well, that's not the right strategy. This message cannot be sent, should not be sent. Abiy back, Abiy back down from MOU with Somalia, and even a weak country like Somalia forced Abiy to withdraw from MOU with Somaliland. Eritrea should never be underestimated. That is why if Abiy is sending a message, that's wrong approach, I think. By the way, what Pim Abiy said after visiting this factory is interesting. He's saying it's form of deterrence. It's form of self-defense. It's not provocation. Building of military capabilities is not provocation. Code Breaker X became a member. Special welcome to you, Code Breaker, for becoming a part of YouTube, My Views and News membership community. We have around 40 members so far. 39 members. Code Breaker is the 40th member. So we have only 40 members so far. PM Abiy, when he visited this facility today, he said that it's a type of self-defense strategy that Ethiopia has adopted. So building of drones is not part of any offensive strategy of the government of Ethiopia. It's a defensive strategy. It will keep Ethiopia safe. This is what is said. Code Breaker X says, if Ethiopia were to take Assad by force, do you believe it would bring lasting peace to the region? No, it will never bring peace. I said, if you remember, maybe you have not watched me, I have been saying that taking a port by force is one thing, but using it is another thing. Ethiopia won't be able to use port peacefully if it takes the port by force. This is what I was. And even people say Sajid Assab is very close to Ethiopia. EDF cannot be mobilized from Asmara to Assab. Within a few hours, ENDF can take over Assab. I disagree with this assessment too. We will do a video on that in future. People should stop daydreaming. Uh, Eritrea Ethiopia border is internationally recognized border. Assab is internationally recognized part of Eritrea. I received some information about another approach which Ethiopia could adopt about Assab. I wanted to do a video on that today, but I traveled a lot today. I could not make a video. Tomorrow I'll do a video on that, hopefully, if I get the time. Let's start, viewers. Let me speak for a few minutes on these two topics, and then you can ask questions, you can comment too. Simon joined to welcome Simon. My life here, open mind joined to welcome open mind. BB here too. Let me start, viewers. Firstly, PMRB was it? Firstly, was you should watch a video I did around 2 hours ago. I got information from credible sources about Ethiopian purchase of new drones. Ethiopia has purchased at least 12 new drones from the UAE. Ethiopia is not perhaps in dire need of these drones. I analyzed this drone deal between Ethiopia and UAE, which type of drone, all the details in that video. After the video, Ethiopian PM visited a drone manufacturing site in Ethiopia. It's called Skywind Aeronautics Industries. PMR visited the drone manufacturing site and he talked about the capability which Ethiopia has developed in terms of building drones. Some drones were shown in the background and during the video. It's a 12-minute long video which has been released by government. PMRB posted the video on his Twitter account too. This 12-minute long video shows how drones are being manufactured in Ethiopia. By the way, all these countries are copying technology. It's not that Ethiopia or other African countries have developed the capability of building drones. No, they just copy technology. None of the African countries has any advanced capabilities of building very modern combat drones. They can build small reconnaissance drones, and that also has been possible because they bought drones from other countries and now they're copying their technology. The drones shown during 12-minute long videos seem to be two types of drones. Firstly, they seem to be simple reconnaissance drones. So Ethiopia, it seems, has acquired the uh, capability of building locally manufactured reconnaissance drones. But what is the endurance time of these drones? From which countries parts are being imported? Are they widely tested? Not clear. And I think some of the drone types which I saw during the video looked like kamikaze drones, suicide drones. Suicide drones are those drones which just crash into the target and explode. They need to be very precise. And they're smaller drones, but no, peace and love, you're not late. Peace and love is a member too. Special welcome, peace and love. These small kamikaze drones can be used as bombs. Sometimes they fire bombs too, but you can use them to just directly hit the target. They just crash on the target, they explode. Very deadly drones being used in Russia-Ukraine war too. I think cheaper. These are cheaper, but expensive choice because once the drone hits the target, it just destroys itself. So kamikaze drones are being built by Ethiopia. Some of the drones look like kamikaze drones. I'm not an expert, by the way. Welcome, Yini. Yini joined. I am not an expert on drones, but keeping in view, but covering different wars, I have learned a little bit about drones. I only saw kamikaze drones and reconnaissance drones. I don't think Ethiopia has the capability of building a drone like a TB2. It wouldn't have bought uh, Akinji last year had it attained the capability of building TB2 like drones. These are lower level reconnaissance drones, and there was no need for Ethiopia to buy reconnaissance drones from UAE. I had a video on that. The drones were bought recently. If Ethiopia has acquired the capability of building reconnaissance drones locally, why would it buy these drones from the UAE? It means UAE's drones are advanced drones, Ethiopian drones are preliminary drones designed to cater to just local needs with limited endurance time. But we'll have to wait to see the performance of these drones. But yesterday, PM Abiy was seen visiting an ammunition manufacturing facility in the Oromia region. Today, he visited a drone manufacturing facility. By the way, people would say, Sajid, it's not a military facility. It would build drones for agricultural use as well. Whatever you say, but the main purpose of the building of this facility is military purpose. It's not that agriculture is on Ethiopian PM's mind. He wants to strengthen military. He wants to build a strong military, strong air force. So yesterday he was seen visiting an ammunition manufacturing site. Today he visited a drone manufacturing site, showing his priorities. This is what Ethiopian government has achieved so far, that it is focused on military spending. It is focused on upgrading the capabilities of its forces at the cost of putting uh, economy and people's economic needs at the back foot. When bulk of your budget goes to military spending, it means you would have less money to spend on your people. Unfortunately, an arms race has begun in the Horn of Africa between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Don't expect Eritrea to just watch Ethiopian drones like spectators. Eritrea would try to match Ethiopian military capabilities. It would spend more on its defense capabilities, and that would perhaps be more alarming in Eritrea, keeping in view that Eritrea has limited resources. Its GDP is no comparable with Ethiopian and Eritrean GDPs. So Eritrea has much less money than Ethiopia has. Eritrean people will suffer more. Already there are signs that Eritrea is also buying drones and bombers and fighter jets to counter alleged threat from Ethiopia. Overall, not a good sign. Not a good sign for peace and stability. You buy weapons to use them, by the way. You buy weapons to use them. You don't buy a weapon just to store them. Weapons are used, or you buy weapons to copy technology to export them to make money. By the way, this Ethiopia Eritrea tension is going to be very beneficial for arms exporters. Those who Ethiopia and Eritrea see as allies are basically benefiting from this conflict. Turkey making money, UAE making money by selling weapons, Russia making money by selling weapons to the two countries. They're not allies. They are basically benefiting from Eritrea Ethiopia conflict. If war breaks out, that will be an opportunity for money making for Turkey, for UAE, for Iran, for Russia, because these countries will buy weapons and ammunition from these countries. Brian Ipsa joined to welcome Brian. Let me speak for a few minutes about the second news story as well, then your questions and comments. Getachew has written a letter uh, which is addressed to Tadesse Werede as well, who is the head of Tigray military, and the letter shows another high intentions between military and Getachew. Getachew is accusing the military that some military commanders are trying to dismantle local administrative units in southern, southeastern, and eastern parts of Tigray. Getachew says that some military commanders are working to implement the agenda of TPLF, the Bretsian group. This is alarming. It could lead to eruption of a war, of a conflict. That is why these commanders should be stopped. They're involved in dismantling government structures, stealing government stamps. Military commanders should take action, otherwise, Tigray interim government will be forced to take measures. Direct message from Getachew to Werede. Werede led military commanders are opposing the establishment of new administrative structures being put in place by Getachew group people in southern, southeastern, eastern parts of Tigray. Military now operating very silently, very smoothly, it is going to paralyze Getachew government. Military made a blunder in Tigray last time when it announced its support for Getachew group, for the Bretsian group, and called for restructuring of Tigray interim government. This time, military is operating very smoothly, very silently. It wants to dismantle Getachew government without creating a scene in Tigray. Getachew fighting back so far. He met with youths yesterday, while John Madid met with TPLF cadres. Overall, I talked to a few Tigrayans today. One of my friends for years. I talked to him. I said, "How is overall situation in Tigray? What is the general pulse in Tigray? What do people of Tigray think? What's going to happen?" He says, "Sajid, there is atmosphere of fear, sentiment of fear in Tigray. There is no appetite for any war. People are sick of war. Even Tigray military is sick of war. Tigray military, lower level fighters, they don't want any war. No one wants war in Tigray. People's lives have been destroyed, lives and livelihoods. Why would they want another war? They don't want to be part of another war, but the men in power, in top positions, in TPLF, TDF, what are the level people whose interests are aligned with supporting the Bretsian group or Getachew military? They're at the forefront of creating this conflict. People don't want a war, they're scared. They fear that there could be a war. They don't want that. But they don't know what to do. There is uncertainty. No one really knows how this conflict in Tigray will end. There is uncertainty, there is fear, slight panic in Tigray. It's the general mood in Tigray, which I learned about after talking to several people. It's 25 minutes have passed. Now I can take your questions and comments. Daniel Eklilo says, "Hi, Sajid, when will PFDJ Congress take place or has it been postponed?" Well, they never announced officially that they'll meet, but preparations were there. But when they announced to meet, the tensions with Ethiopia were not so high. Now, the main concern for Eritrean government is the threat coming from Ethiopia. Maybe PFDJ Congress will be uh, postponed. Maybe. Simon says, Sadi, is it true that war will begin with airstrikes? I don't think so. I don't think so. I did a video on how Ethiopia would like this war to start. Uh, I think that was the topic of a live chat. How Eritrea would like this war to start if it happened is the topic of second video, which I'll do in coming days. And in that video, in which I discussed Ethiopian perspective about this war, I said Ethiopia would like this war to start in Eritrea, where Assad is located. It would like Eritrean affairs to rise against Eritrean government. It would like then Ethiopian affairs to join. It would like to intervene then in support of our people in the area where Assad is located. I built an entire picture in that live chat. Do watch that. What is Eritrean plan? That will discuss in coming videos. But I don't think it will start with airstrikes. Horner case says, Sajid, has Egypt abandoned Isaias? No, no, they are allies. When you have a common rival, common enemy, you are natural allies. Eritrea, Egypt, natural allies. But Somalia might just uh, change its mind. Somalia was a key ally of Egypt and Eritrea. But the way Ethiopian military is protecting Hassan Sheikh government these days, Somalia might change its mind. By the way, I said Mogadishu is in danger. I said Al Shabaab trying to march towards Mogadishu. People made fun of me. They said, Sajid, you are again ringing false alarm. Now it is being proven almost that Mogadishu is in danger. A strikes being conducted by Ethiopian Air Force, US Air Force to push Al Shabaab away from Mogadishu. And Ethiopian troops are playing a key role in stopping Al Shabaab's advance towards Mogadishu. I think that will improve Abi Hassan Sheikh ties. Maybe Hassan Sheikh will drift closer to Abi now because it is Abi's military which is supporting Hassan Sheikh now. Egyptians nowhere to be seen, Eritreans nowhere to be seen, and Abi visited Mogadishu despite a threat, despite the fact that he came under attack there. But he made a point that he stands with Somalia. Egypt and Eritrea are helping Somalia to the extent of countering Ethiopia. But they're not actively supporting Somalia in the fight against Al Shabaab, or practically supporting. They're training Somalia's forces, supplying weapons too, but they're not fighting on the front. Ethiopia fighting at the front. DW Ethiopia says Egypt is more preoccupied with Israel and Palestinians getting pushed into their land. Yeah, that is one of their major concerns. Bayo Adira is calling me a terrorist, saying that you always talk about war. He's not listening to me. I am condemning war, telling people to say no to war. And he's saying you are promoting war. Important question from Bilacho. Bilacho says, Sajid, do you think that technology will solely determine the outcome of a war? You give too much emphasis to drones, remember Taliban. Well, military hardware matters a lot. I don't agree with the assessment given by that Eratian artist. Avil. He gave just 10% to military hardware. I disagree with it. Military hardware matters a lot. Wars, modern wars, can only be fought if you have modern hardware, modern weapons. And these modern weapons are very deadly. They destroy your moral in seconds. I will give 50% to moral. Drones destroy moral in seconds. How charged were Tigray fighters? You saw what happened. I covered several wars actually, and I saw these drones in operation. Uh, and drones are the recently introduced military hardware, which is accessible to smaller countries, is drone. Even poor countries can buy drones too. And drones change battlefield balance. They make artillery, they make tanks totally insignificant if they are able to conduct precise strikes. But it's not that only drone determine the outcome of a war, but they matter a lot. Military hardware, all types of military hardware, I think matters a lot. Corner case says, how would Ethiopia incite chaos in Eritrea when they are very united? Well, they're not united. They are living in fear. Savaki government is not letting them speak. But those Eritreans who are abroad, are they united? No, they are not. And hundreds of Eritreans ready to fight against this Savaki government. They are organize themselves in Ethiopia, being backed armed by Ethiopian government, is Eritreans. They're not Ethiopian, they're Eritreans. People say Sajid Brigade Hamad is a non-Eritrean entity. I don't agree with that. These are Eritrean youths, Eritrean people. They want to change Sasavaki government. It's not that all Eritreans in the world are united and they want to fight and they would fight against Ethiopia. No. IWG says, hi Sajid, what is your view on Abiy spending on weapons while 9 million children out of schools? Well, I spoke on that a few minutes ago. I said this arms race between Eritrea, Ethiopia is very deadly, deadly for the people. People will suffer. Eritreans will suffer more than Ethiopians. Keeping Eritrea has smaller economy, less GDP. Every dom says, Sajid, don't you think Isaias can avert this war by selling Assad to Ethiopia, if not lease it? Well, they would call it betrayal of national interest, which you are calling it, which you are saying is a way of averting the war. So 36 minutes have passed. I think we should end the live chat. Thank you for joining. We covered two topics in tonight's live chat. So many questions about war. You see, people say, Sajid, you make videos about war these days, but people want to know about the likely outcome of Werede hypertension. Most of the questions are about war, about likelihood of war. I'm trying to uh, tell the people that they should not call for war. They should not blindly support patriotic narratives launched by Abiy and Assas, the working governments. They should say no to war. They should pressurize their leaders to talk, to sit. If the leaders cannot sit, they should make room for others. They should just leave. This is what Ethiopian Eritreans should say. They should not just try to prove that their side is strong and the other side is weak. They're brave, other side is a bunch of cowards. No, they should not do that. Say no to war, say yes to dialogue. This is the way forward. Otherwise, Horn of Africa will turn into a humanitarian catastrophe. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with this week's last live chat. Stay blessed. Bye bye.